And up next, Cristina will share her expertise on the topic of data privacy with us. Cristina Ghica is the managing partner at Ghica Innovative Law Firm. She has 15 years of experience in leading cross-functional teams focused on critical strategic issues, corporate business, and privacy issues. She has an MBA and holds a master's degree in marketing and business communication, a bachelor's degree in international law, and an LLB. So really impressive resume, Cristina. Please take it away. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Kelly. It's a big opportunity for me to be here with all of you, impressive women with impressive careers. So I will try to share a few tricks and tips, let's say, related directly with the data privacy in AI and big data usage. In 2019, the Artificial Intelligence Market Research Report was saying that the global value of the AI was estimated at $27 billion, and with an estimated value to reach in 2027 at $266 billion. Also, the World Economic Forum has suggested that the development and the diffusion of AI in its current actives and the digital position will lead to 2.7 trillion euros in the European economic output, which means a lot. These numbers are huge, and we realize day by day that the AI systems, together with the usage of big data, impacts most of the industries. We have three, or I resume that we have three challenges in terms of translating the benefits that AI systems and big data usage into legal terms, and also into privacy notice, for example, to the end users of these AI systems and big data usage. As far as I could see from my research, there is not a universal definition adopted for the AI, which brings some challenges in the legislation in terms of AI, and also how we use the AI systems in multinationals to develop these systems. And the explanations of the AI systems and technologies are focused more on the specific part of the application of the AI. As my previous speaker was mentioning, we are talking about machine learning. Or we're talking about digitalization or automatization of some processes inside the corporations and inside their processes, and making better products by using the AI systems and the big data. Also, there are, let's say, unknown patent biases when AI systems, risks that are putting together with this technological development, and the degree of autonomy and complexity of the AI systems could lead to some risks that we cannot foresee when we develop an AI system, for example. Which means that if we are going to adopt security and privacy by design policy and procedures at the level of the corporation, we are going to have some troubles because of these biases that we might encounter when we develop the system. Also, the biggest, let's say, impact and challenge would be to find the equilibrium, the balance between what means the usage of AI systems and the privacy for the end user. And as a framework used for the AI, we might say that we need to use and also to implement in our processes three main things like fairness, which means that we need to ensure that algorithmic decisions do not create discriminatory or unjust impacts when comparing across different demographics or affected communities or individuals. Also, we talk about accountability, which means that algorithmically informed decisions have the potential for significant social impact and must be designed and implemented in publicly accountable ways, such as an obligation to report, to explain, to justify specific decision, as well as mitigate negative impact and potential harms to individuals. And lastly, the transparency, which is very important, that we need to ensure the personal data collected, the model function and process, and the role of the model output in final decision making are explainable to the user or individual impacted by the decision. Taking together these concepts represents some of the unique aspects of machine learning models that raise the most concern. I would say that yes, corporations or let's say companies that they allocated huge budgets to develop this kind of systems or even to acquire AI systems or using analytics platform for developing better their products, for ensuring a customer experience, a better one, to improve their activities and to make them efficient. They need to implement at the core of their business also the privacy part. They need to use the privacy by design and by default frameworks and to have together more than one department implicated in making this assessment of privacy by design and by default. And I'm referring here to the fact that the privacy departments mostly are support departments in companies, and they have to work closely and to be implicated, for example, by the product owners and the sales teams, also the cybersecurity teams, in order to develop AI systems and to integrate them into a product. Also, it is very important when we use analytics platforms not to use in test environment real data and to use dummy data, which means that we need to go and use the data in aggregate models, not to harm the individuals when we make the tests. Also, on the, let's say, legal part of the privacy, to have privacy notice for informing individuals about how the data is used by the AI systems, and also to try to translate in a free and a simple message how the algorithm of the AI systems is functioning, which here we have a difficulty in translating this. And also we need to allow to individuals to raise their rights, which means that when we have an automated decisions, we need to allow the individuals to oppose to the processing of data and to have to be subject of this kind of automated decision, which might have a huge impact in their, for example, in their decision of buying some products. For example, when we take a loan, we need to be sure that the automated decisions of the scoring, it's also supervised by human interventions, or if it is not supervised by the human interventions, we need to explain to individuals, to the clients of the bank, that there is an automated decision and what is the impact of their loan request, for example. I would say, because we are still living in this new normal during the pandemic, for example, there are automated decisions that are integrated in different apps and e-devices that are used or that are going to be used by different countries. For example, Argentina, Germany, and Italy, they would like to develop these immunity passports, which means that if I use an app and I will show the fact that I get the vaccine against the COVID virus, or I have been naturally immunized before. This means that I have a degree of, let's say, a free usage, and I can go freely to job and come back home without taking any particular specific and restricted things to do. And this means that the individuals are going to be impacted by the automated decisions that is part of this application. And there is a bias that is used here because, for example, the World Health Organization didn't say that we have a certain proof that if I already get the virus, this doesn't mean that I'm going to be reinfected or not. Which means that if I will use the automated decision in this kind of apps by saying that I have this freedom because I get vaccine and I'm not going to be reinfected, this means that there is going to be a discriminatory effect between individuals who are choosing to get the vaccine or not. So I guess that sometimes it's very difficult to get the balance and to fulfill with the privacy framework that I was already mentioning, the equity, the accountability, and the transparency that we are using in these systems.